Hey everybody, you're just in time for What's Hot, where we talk about the stories that have us all talking.
And today we're joined by Barb Bartlein from the People Pro. Jeff Wagner back with us. New technology could alter airport security rules when it comes to the liquids. It's called Magray, and the system uses MRI and X-ray to analyze whether a bottle's contents are safe or dangerous. The goal, to get rid of the liquid restriction when flying and still maintain safety, meaning you can take that bottled water through security. Should the rules on liquids change?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the number one thing that air travelers complain about. Personally, my big issue with it, you can't take a latte through the security system.
And you have to time your latte appropriately, Barb.
It's really difficult. And I'm serious. You know, at General Mitchell Field, only one of the terminal sections has Starbucks on the other side of security.
Oh, the injustice of it.
It is, Jeff. So if you want...
Barb's been writing people.
Oh, I have. If you want a latte with your USA Today, you're in trouble.
Yeah, see, now that's interesting. My issue is, okay, is my bag going to get where I'm going? Is the plane going to leave on time? You know, will there be a screaming kid sitting behind me? Barb is concerned about the latte. Here's the deal. I say yes with an asterisk. If you can develop this technology. I mean, that's the big thing. They're not going to do it today or tomorrow. It's all dependent on being able to make sure that people are really bringing bottled water onto the plane as opposed to some flammable liquid. If you can get the technology, I say sure.
But the rules are all over the place too, because I've traveled, you know, with a kid, you have all kinds of liquidy stuff, and I was going somewhere, and that airport didn't pull, like I had little hand sanitizers tucked places, and I forgot one or two. Nothing came back, and it was all pulled, so it's not consistent from my experience. And then one thing I was told I could have, and then another airport I couldn't have it.
And people really shuffle around because they don't, I mean, you're making a great point, Courtney. They don't know the rules. So they're pulling out baggies full of mouthwash, and it's kind of a mess. No, I think this would be great if we can get the technology working.
Which is a bigger pain, the liquid rule or the you have to basically disrobe before you get on the airplane rule?
Well, I think taking out your computer is a big pain, too.
I'm going with liquid now that I'm traveling with a kid.
Okay.
Yeah,
before, that was easier for me. But you know, as a woman, it's like you got chapstick, you got lip gloss, like what constitutes what?
See, we've learned something today, because if we want Barb to mellow out, we know it's a latte. We should have
Get
a latte waiting
Let's
for
do
Absolutely.
it for Barb.
Okay.
Let's get this screening in for Barb.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the support.
All right, coming up next, we reveal the viewer's choice topic du jour.
And Brian Goddard has another check on your cold forecast.
And snowy.
Yeah. Choice topic of the day.
Again, we're joined by Barb Bartlein. She's the People Pro, and you know Jeff Wagner from the radio. A pre-K teacher in New York faces discipline for sending a letter home with students. In the letter, she wrote that several of the students were coming to school wearing dirty clothes and smelling bad. Should that letter have gone home?
Yes. I tell you, this is one that just makes my head want to explode. You've got a large number of the class, and these are little kids, coming in, they smell, they're unkempt, they're unsanitary. She sends a general letter, admittedly, to all the parents saying, hey, this is an issue, deal with it. And the parents, instead of dealing with the problem, the parents get mad at her. To me, this is don't shoot the messenger.
Well, of course they're going to get mad at her because they're not doing their job as parents. I don't know if a letter home is the way you solve the problem. I think she should have gone higher to say, look, we have a problem with, you know, 3 kids in the class. It looks like there's some neglect here. They're coming in dirty. They're coming in dirty clothes.
I just don't think it was 3. I think it was a lot of the kids. And I guess, should she have gone to a social worker? Yeah, but at the same time...
I don't think she should be fired over it. I'm just saying I think she, you know, obviously appealing to the parents that are sending their kids into school this way. They know that. They're not going to say, oh, okay, I'm going to fix the problem. They're going to lash out at her.
But they got offended. Yeah.
But I just don't think this was handled correctly. I don't think that's the best way to handle it, Jeff, is to send a letter home. You know, my husband taught in MPS for many years, and when they had a child that had poor hygiene or dirty clothes, they would pull that child aside and actually give him clean clothes from donations and then talk with him about hygiene. if there was still a problem, the school nurse would sit down with the parents. This was like a handwritten note.
But what if it's 2/3 of the class? I mean, see, I understand what you're saying. If you're talking about, out of, let's say, for the sake of argument, out of a class of 20, if you've got 1 or 2 kids, that's one thing. What if it's 2/3 of the class?
Well, then it's a deeper problem. You're talking about a community that needs help, and I don't know that sending a letter home is going to do that. I think that the reaction she got is kind of expected. It's not right, but it's expected given the situation.
I think it's time for her to retire. I think she's burned out.
Okay, end of topic 2.
Time for our lightning round. A waitress in New York said she was fired for not covering a customer's bill. Apparently, her customers skipped out on paying their $96 tab.
Now, she said her manager told her either she covers the check or her coworkers will, but the manager denies firing her. What are your thoughts on this? And, you know, just let everybody know, if you dine and dash, it's your waiter or waitress who has to eventually pick up the tab for you.
Well,
It's pretty much standard practice. I don't agree with it at all, being an ex-waitress, because I remember people doing that to me, and the argument the manager would say is, well, you got to keep an eye on your customers. Well, you also have to go back to the kitchen to get the food, and as soon as you do that, they dash out the door.
Well, right, and what happens if, you know, a big burly guy that just ate is dashing out the door? You're going to tackle him for his money?
Right.
I mean, what are you
going to do?
okay, I mean, I give the manager the Turkey of the Year award for this particular situation.
Oh, my, we have a
Look at
prop.
that.
Absolutely. No, that's not. What do you mean a prop? It's the Turkey of the Year award here. Here's the bottom line of all this. I think it's illegal, actually, to do that. In New Jersey or New York, wherever this was, I don't think the law allows them to do this. But it's not the waitress's fault if people take off. For goodness sakes, I mean, you need more security, or you need to deal with it. Don't make her pay.
Yeah, I didn't know we could give Turkey awards. I'm going to start doing that too, Jeff.
Absolutely. It just has to be as cute as this one is. That's the only rule.
Hurry up, Barb. You only have a couple days left.
Make sure that
Because wait till you
turkey
see what
finds its
happens
way.
to this after Thursday. Absolutely.
Make sure the turkey finds its way to Thursday. It wants to hang out on Friday for some reason this week. All right, our What's Hot discussion will continue online. Find that page at tmj4.com/hot.
Coming up, Storm Team Forecast.